Introducing a new concept in football videos, cigarette card heroes. Comedian and president of Aldershot Town FC, Arthur English, takes up the story.
Football today is full of pressures, coaching, money and systems. And individual player is almost a thing of the past. There was a time though when money wasn't king and comradeship was paramount and players lived for the game. That was the era when legends were born, names that are still revered in the hallowed halls of Arsenal, Newcastle, Everton, Sunderland. Some of those legends now relive those memories when they were yesterday's football's cigarette card heroes.
Footballing legend Len Shackleton recalls an amusing story about Stan Mortenson's experience when England lost 1-0 to America in the World Cup.
America beat us 1-0 in the World Cup. That was one of my lucky tours to miss that I didn't get picked. So he said, we're playing there, got beat 1-0. He said, how the hell to beat us? I don't know. He said, but we're getting off the pitch. So I'm coming off the pitch, and there's a big guy runs on me, he said, Stan Morty. And he gets all of it in my jersey and lifts me off the floor and pointing his finger and his fist in my face. And Morty, you've let England down today. You bastard, I'll get you. So Stan said, wriggle, clear and dash in the dressing room. Go in the dressing room. Get in the bath, come out. He said, I come out of the dressing room. And I said, I'm still sweating, you know. And he said, there's this guy out on the outside waiting for me again. Morty said, I'll get you. You've let England down, get you. So Stan said, dash in the bus, don't I? Get in the bus, get in the middle of the bus. And the guy's still shaking his fist about. So the bus goes off. So we get back to the hotel. So we get back to the hotel, and there's a guy on the motorbike. He said, there's a guy, the same guy waving to me there, still getting his fist up. He said, he must have had a motorbike. So Stan said, I get past him and elbow my way past. Get into the lift, up into the lift, 4 floors up, 5 floors up. Go in the door, shut the door, go into the window. That guy's still shaking his fist, saying, I'll get you, you've let England down today. So Stan says, 5 floors up, door shut, okay. Lifts the window up, opens the window. He said, take my pants down, don't I? Stick my backside out of the window, and the guy is still there, shaking his fist. He says, I'll get you too, Alf Ramsey.
With the aid of comic strips and archive footage, many other cigarette card heroes relate anecdotes from the past. An exceptional piece of footballing nostalgia.
Hello and welcome to Courchevel, high into flying chumps, for the first in my series of video ski schools. Now it's not every day you get a world-class Olympic skier in your own home, so I hope you'll take this opportunity to learn some of the basic skiing skills with me. Instead, in this programme we're going to show you how to plan your holiday from brochure to piste. But that's not all. In addition, we're going to look at clothing and equipment, and we'll take you through a few tips on the dry ski sled. We'll also have a fitness programme that'll help you to make the most out of your winter holiday. We'll also be spending time here in this fabulous resort, where we'll see how much progress you can expect to make in a few days here in the mountains. Of course, you can't actually learn to ski from a video, but we can help to give you some of the knowledge that you'll need to know that'll give you a head start for when you go on holiday. If you've never skied before, or if you're feeling a bit rusty, then this beginner's guide is right up your high street. And funny enough, that's where your skiing holiday really begins, with a visit to your local travel agent. Once you've grabbed the brochures that suit your budget, it's time to weigh out the pros and cons of each resort.
Planning your ski trip is all part of the fun. The brochures are packed with all the essential information you need to make your choice. The types of accommodation, the facilities and entertainment, the ski school arrangements, where your ski pass will take you, and a useful resort diagram that shows you at a glance the location of the various lifts and slopes, and a colour-coded grade of the runs. Green, blue, red, black. Remembering this sequence won't get you very far on the snooker table, but it'll stop you coming to grief on the slopes.
When you've been through the bump and you've picked the brains of every travel agent in the country, it's time to decide when and where to go.
If you've never been before, the choice may seem a bit daunting. Of course it can be ideal if you're going with friends who know their way around, so long as your tastes are the same. But what should you look out for?
Whoa! Well, apart from other skiers, of course, who you should always look out for. Now, you need your resort to have plenty of nursery slopes so you can learn to get to grips with the basics. You need a good English-speaking ski school, after all. It makes life a lot easier. And you need your resort to have plenty of red and blue runs so you can move up to them as your skiing improves. Most British skiers, of course, still use the Alps, but there's lots of skiing to be had all over the world, including Eastern Europe and the States. So y'all have a nice day now.
The important thing is to think through what all your party wants, including kids if you've got some. Rich and famous jet-setters like me might be tempted to check out exclusive resorts like Davos or Verbier, but if you're an absolute beginner and your budget is a bit tight, perhaps it's better to choose somewhere like Teens or Saas-Fee, amazing new developments that are designed with skiers in mind. Here at Courchevel you see all levels of skier and non-skier. Most famous resorts cater for everyone.
Good to ski like, isn't it? So, you've decided on your resort. It's got a good number of green runs for you complete rookies. It's also got a good range of intermediate slopes which you'll graduate to, you hope. You've also sorted out the right accommodation that will suit everybody in your party, and you've also sorted out how much a ski pass and ski hire is going to set you back. Great! All you have to do is book it. Oh, one more thing. Do make sure you take out a full winter holiday insurance policy. You never know what might happen. Minor injuries like pulled muscles and strains are far more likely to happen if you're not fully fit. And remember, it only takes a slight sprain to ruin an otherwise perfect holiday. So anything you can do to avoid this is obviously good news. Now, if you're the type of person who gets a backache every time you try and bend down to tie your shoelaces, or has to have a lie down through the strains of getting out of bed, then skiing down a 2-mile run might seem a bit excessive, let alone getting on a drag lift. So, to avoid the perils of being unfit, we've devised the Eddie the Eagle workout. As an Olympic athlete, I take training very, very seriously, believe it or not. Now, there's actually a lot you can do before you arrive at your resort to make sure you're fit and ready to step into those skis. But a word of warning, make sure you break into your exercise routine very, very gently. Don't overdo it, and don't force your body into something that it doesn't want to do. Gentle exercise on a regular basis will do far more for you than one mad bash that'll leave you unable to move for a whole fortnight. Cycling is a terrific exercise for general skiing fitness, as it uses many of the muscles used in skiing and strengthens the parts that jogging can't reach or that swimming only tones. Now, if you can't get hold of a bike, jogging or brisk walking, especially uphill, is still very good for all-round fitness, but remember, to take it easy at first. Before we blast into my special skiing exercises, we first have to warm up. The body is a bit like an engine. You have to let it run for a bit before you hit the gas. So first of all, let's create a bit of space for ourselves. Okay, move the coffee table, kick the cat out of the way. No, I don't mean that. I love cats really. Okay, you can close the curtains if you're a little bit shy. Okay, now if at any time during this workout you get a little bit hot or a little bit bothered, then slow down or even stop. Okay, now if you're a little bit worried before you start, a quick visit to your local GP, he'll give you a quick check over to make sure everything's okay, and then you can come and start working out with us. Okay, but do take it easy. I must stress that, do take it easy. Okay. Now first of all, we're going to breathe in going up, breathe out coming down with our arms, okay. Okay, now start walking on the spot. Nice easy steps, okay. Now the idea of a warm-up is to get your heartbeat going, okay, get your breathing going, nice deep breaths, okay, and get you nice and warm. Okay, so start stamping those feet a little bit harder, bringing those knees up, start using your arms. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Okay. Now then, as well as walking on stop, we can do some steps, okay? So, do some steps like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And back to walking. Okay, really stamp those feet, move those arms. Okay. Now let's use our arms with the steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And back to the steps again. Okay, really stamp those feet, move those arms, get that heart going. Okay, nice deep breaths. Okay, let's step to the side. On 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And the other way. Okay, really step those feet. Okay. Now this is just a guide. You can make this warm-up last 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you like. Okay, this is just a guide. You can do all kinds of deviations like this. Okay, just have fun with it. Okay, it's fitness with fun. Okay, so when you're nicely warmed up and your heart's going, whew, we've got to stretch. Now the easiest way to do it is to stretch from the top and work our way down. So we'll start with the neck. Okay, nice big neck rolls, like so. Now you should do about 8 to 10 of these. Okay, don't stretch it too much, don't pull anything, just nice and easy. Okay, then shoulder rolls. You'll be doing these on skis as well later on. Okay, and backwards. Once again, you should do about 8 to 10 of these, but this is just a guide. I'm just showing you the rough sequence to take when stretching out. Okay, it's much easier to work from my head and work down. Okay, quick stretches like so. Twist. Okay. Okay, then with our hips, feet slightly apart, move our hips round like so. Okay, first one way, and then the other. Get nice and stretched. Okay, we're working our way down the body, so our next one is our legs. Okay, now it's easy to have your front leg forwards and straight, your back leg slightly bent and behind, and just ease forwards, okay? You should feel the stretch right down this leg here. Okay, nice and stretched. Like so, don't force anything, don't push it too hard. Okay, and the other way, nice and stretched. Feel it right along here, okay? Okay, and your thighs. Okay, push your knee down and your hips forwards. It's better to hold on to something if you can. If you're good balance, then you won't need to. Whoa! Okay, that's one. Whoop. Oh. Okay, and your calves. Push your knees forwards, but keep your heel of your foot on the ground at all times. That's one. And the other one. Push your knees forwards, heel on the floor. Okay, nice little shake. And we're ready to go. Whew.
If after all this warming up you feel that your back is against the wall when it comes to exercise, don't despair. Try this routine every day between now and your holds and I can guarantee you will feel the benefits. Okay, try this little number anytime, any place. Just make sure there's a wall behind you when you do it. Right, have your feet flat on the floor and about 18 inches away from the wall, then sink down until the back of your thighs is parallel with the floor. Okay, it may look relaxing, but I can assure you it isn't, and I'm really feeling the muscles burn on the front of my thighs. Now, you'll only be able to manage probably a second or two at first, but as your muscles gain in strength, you'll probably be able to hold it that little bit longer, and try and hold it a second or two longer each time. Right, that's enough sitting around for one day. Okay, now I'm going to show you a series of exercises now that are especially good for your skiing. They're mostly concentrated on the legs and they are slightly more harder than our warm-up. So if you do feel any pain at all, slow down or even stop. We don't want you doing an injury. Okay, now our first exercise is the open leg squat. So you stand with your legs open like so, and I want you to just squat down like so. Now you can have your hands on your hips, or you can have your hands out like so, or even holding onto something to keep your balance. Okay, when you go down, the back of your thighs should be parallel with the floor. Okay, your shoulders back and your back straight. Okay, you let your legs do all the work. Up and down. Now this is a very good one for your skiing. Okay. The next one are high kicks. They're very good. Okay, you have your 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back, and have your arm out like so you can kick your hand. Now don't have your hand up here because there ain't no way you're going to kick it. Okay, so have something to aim at, and then just bring your leg up and kick it. Okay, up. Down, up, down, up, down, up, up. Okay, and then the other one. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You should be doing about 20 of these exercises, or 20 of each. Okay, now jumping, and you know how I like jumping. Now the first one, we're going to jump from side to side. Now it's always better if you have a bit of an incentive to jump over. So get your cat, okay, lie it down on the floor and jump over from side to side, okay, like 2, 3, 4, 5, like so, okay. Be careful not to jump on the cat, okay. If you're really good, you can start like so. Okay, that's jumping from side to side. Now the next one is the twisting jump. Okay, this is another good one for your skiing. Arms out like so, and as you jump, you twist. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's the twisting jump. And the last one we'll do is the star jump. Okay, like so. And I'm sure you've seen this on a lot of military movies. Yes, Sergeant. No, Sergeant. Okay. Okay, there's a few jumps. Now, we're going to get on the floor now for some slightly less strenuous exercises. These are very good for the women. Okay. Now, if you live in your living room and you've got a nice big shag pile, then you've got nothing to worry about. If you've got a hard floor, then it's better to use a towel. Okay. Protects the joints. Okay. Now we're going to do the thighs. Now, first of all, the outer thigh. So if you sit down or lie down like so, your bottom leg bent, your top leg straight like so, with your toes pointing to the floor. Okay, and just raise and lower, like so. Okay, and feel the tension on the outer thigh, like so. Okay, should do about 20 of these. Okay, and then the inner thigh, you have your leg bent like so, this leg straight. Once again, try and get your toes pointing outwards or towards the floor, and then just lift your leg like so. Okay, and once again, feel the tension on the inside of the thigh, just here. Okay. Now you can use ankle weights. You can get those from any good sports shop. Okay, they're velcroed. They just wrap around your ankle and they make it that little bit harder, but they're still very, very good to use. Okay. And then the front of your thigh, if you sit up like so, bend one leg, the leg straight, and just raise like so. Okay, and that does right across the front of your thigh. Like so. And of course, do them with both legs. Okay, now then, we're going to move on to press-ups. Okay, we've got to use our arms for pole planting and pushing. So, The women should do a smaller press-up, like so, on their knees, hands forwards like so, and about shoulder width apart, okay, and bend down like so. Okay. Try and do as many of these as you can. If you can only do 3 or 4, that's fine. If you can do 20, 25, that's even better. Now the men should be able to do a full press-up, okay? Up and down, up and down, like so. And if you're really good, you should be able to do on one arm, like so. And finally, sit-ups. Now sit-ups, you can do many different forms of sit-ups. You can have your crunches like so. These are very good for your stomach, okay? Or even one at a time, like so. Okay. Or even have your legs up like so, and then try and touch your toes. There we go. And there's a few exercises for you that are especially good for your skiing. So then just relax. All the exercises you've seen will stand you in good stead for when you hit the slopes and improve your general fitness if you do them regularly. So let's look at a few other special exercises that you can do that will improve your skiing and that you can do in the discomfort of your own front room gym. Now, one of the muscle groups that are neglected quite often when it comes to skiing, and that is your calf muscle, this muscle here at the back of the leg. So I'm going to show you an exercise now called the calf raise, which strengthens the calf muscle and also improves your skiing. Now what you do, you find a block of wood or a brick, use the stairs or even somebody's head, but don't tell them I told you so. Okay, what you do, you put the ball of your foot on the edge of the block or brick or stair, whatever, okay, both feet, one foot, then the other, okay. Hold on to the banister or wall or whatever for a bit of balance. Okay, then I want you to lower your feet until you almost touch the floor and then back up again. Okay, lower, raise, lower, raise, lower, raise. Okay, and that gives you good strength in the calf muscles. Now when you get really confident, you can actually do it on one foot. Okay, lower, raise, and then the other foot, lower, raise, raise. Now another good exercise you can do, if you've got some stairs at home or in your block of flats or even your office block, try walking up and down those. If you haven't, get down to your local gym and get on one of these. It's called a stair climb, and it's especially good for your bum and for the back of your thighs. Multi-gyms are great for building up and exercising all your muscle groups, and not only those are used for skiing. If you can afford to buy one, great, you can have one in your own home. If you can't, get down to your local gym, and they've got some just like this, and if you tell them it's for skiing, they'll help you sort out a good workout routine.
After all this, you're probably ready for some pre-workout refreshment.
Cheers! You're ready now to put on those skis and head for the slopes, and that's something you can do near home too. These dry ski slopes are by far the best preparation of all for the real thing.
Dry slope skiing is fun in its own right, but there's no better place to come if you want to get ready for your skiing holiday. For a start, here you can learn about all your skiing hardware.
Such as ski boots, and how they work. Amazing! We'll also look at bindings, and how they attach the boot to the ski. Oh, couldn't be simpler. Also, how to hold your poles correctly. Getting used to all the equipment at a dry ski slope certainly helps, especially getting used to these blooming great planks on your feet. Oh, God. Now, if you're really lucky, you'll get to practice your getting up routine with your poles and skis. And as a beginner, I can assure you that'll come in very, very handy. Trouble is, though, it hurts a hell of a lot more on plastic than it does on snow. Ooh. One thing that worries most beginners is getting on and getting off a lift. Now, this is a common lift used by most artificial ski slopes and a lot of resorts around Europe. It's called a pommer. It's a drag lift, and it's there to drag you up the slope. Now look at it as your friend, because it's there to take you up to the top of the hill so that you can ski down. Now it's very simple to get on. Have your skis parallel, no more than about shoulder width apart. Move out so you're in the tracks ready to go up. Grab the pommer as high as you can and pull it down between your legs and just let the thing drag you up. Okay, don't sit down on it. Okay, keep your legs reasonably bent but stiff.
If you fall off while you're going up, move to the side as quickly as you possibly can, otherwise somebody will come up behind you and hit you. And to get off, all you have to do is grab hold of the pole, pull it down and push it away from you, and then ski off. Easy. Oh, I like this.
All the gear you'll need can be had from the dry ski slope, but don't worry if you splashed out on all your own stuff, because the skis and boots are exactly the same. I'd recommend that you have at least 3 hour-long sessions at the artificial ski slope before your holiday. Typically, a lesson costs about £15, though you'll often get a taster session for next to nothing. All you need to bring with you is a pair of gloves to protect your hands and some hard-wearing clothing to protect the rest of you. You won't get to be Jean-Claude Keely on the dry ski slope, but along with my workout, you'll be well prepared for the rigours of the Piste.
Woo! Wow, it's breathtaking today. You know, I've skied in many of the top resorts in Europe and the States, and it's always lovely to return here to Courchevel, not least because there's a ski jump. But none of that today, because it's time to start you skiing. So first, the basics. This is how you carry your skis on your shoulder with your tips down, okay? Now, if you carry them like this, you're liable to hurt somebody, okay? So, right, to start skiing, it's always best to have the skis on your feet. So, to do this, place your skis down on a flat area so they don't run away from you. Place your poles either side of your skis like so to give you a bit of support. Now, before you put your boot in, run your boot along the top of your binding like so. It gets all the snow off the bottom of your boot. Then place your toe in first, line your heel up with the heel binding and stamp down hard. And then same with your second boot, line it up and stamp down hard. And you're in. But don't worry, your bindings are adjusted to your height and weight so that if you do fall over, they will release, so you won't injure yourself. So, we're all set to go. Now with your poles, all you have to do, it's best to get the loop like so, place your hand up through the loop and then down over the grip, okay? And with this one, up through the loop and down, and we're all set to go. Right, now we've got skis on our feet, poles in our hands, let's get used to it. First of all, a few exercises. Lift one ski up and then the other, keeping the tips on the floor. Now if you're feeling very energetic, try and do them both together. And a little jump, like so. Okay, let's start moving. A little push, and then slide one foot, then the other. Now we're going to do a star turn, okay? So only little steps. First one ski, then the other. One ski, then the other. And start working our way round. Like so. Okay, it's called a star turn, not because you're a star for doing it, but because it leaves a mark in the snow that looks like a star. Okay, pushing again, using your feet and arms. Okay, now you should be doing this for 5 or 10 minutes just to get used to the feel. Eye protection is very, very important, particularly when you're skiing. When the sun is shining and it's very bright, that sunshine magnifies off the snow and it can be 10 times worse, causing snow blindness, headaches. It's not very nice, so we need to protect our eyes. Now, a lot of skiers wear things like this. Very trendy sunglasses. Now, but what happens if you wear glasses like I do? You won't be able to see a thing. So, you either wear goggles and buy goggles that are big enough to fit over your glasses, which work just as well, or another company called Specsavers has come up with a goggle with your prescription lens inside. So you get 2 in 1. A very, very good idea. So if you wear glasses, that's another option you can look for. So, that's eye protection, but what about skin protection? Sunburn is a real problem. As we all know, it can cause skin cancer. So make sure you cover up all exposed skin areas with sunblock, especially your nose and lips, because a blistered face can ruin your time on the piste, not to mention your chances of pulling at the après-ski disco. With all this talk about sunshine and sunburn, you'll probably be thinking about skiing in your t-shirt and shorts, or even your swimming costume. But don't be fooled, it can be very, very cold out there. Always wear effective clothing. So, thermals at the ready.
Half of these people are probably far more concerned about what they're wearing than how they're skiing. Let's face it, ski fashion is big business, and for many skiers, the colour of their salopettes is far more important than the slope they're sliding down.
But this programme is not all about the latest trends on the Brazilian catwalk, otherwise we'd be here all day. Mind you, I think I can handle that okay. Now, all you need to know is what ski clothing actually does, and that's two simple things. It's got to keep you warm, and it's got to have flexibility.
Keeping warm is all about insulation, which is all about trapping layers of air. That's how your duvet on your bed works, and it's also how an animal's fur coat works. So, the more layers of air you can trap between your skin and the outside world, the warmer you will be. Your best bet for skiing is to wear a number of layers. Thermal underwear, a few layers of warm midwear, and a wind and snowproof shell to stop all that cold white stuff from getting in where it's not wanted. And then there's flexibility. You'll be as warm as toast wearing 47 woolly jumpers, but there's a good chance you won't be able to move, let alone perform the contortions that skiing demands. Purpose-built ski jackets and salopettes are both insulated and snowproof, so they save you having to bother with an extra mid-layer, and they are cut correctly to give you the right sort of movement in all the right places. They should be quite tight-fitting as well, without sacrificing flexibility, so they don't flap around like a sail and pump out all your warm air layers every time you bend your knees. Gloves and hats are also very important. Your head and wrists have a large blood supply, which runs very close to the surface of the skin. They're the body's premier cooling zones. Cover them up if you want to stay warm, and cover them if you want to cool off.
Whatever you choose to wear, from the latest designer gear to several layers of old hand-me-downs topped with a pair of old waterproofs, follow Eddie's clothes advice and you'll be okay. So, now it's time for ski school. This is where you make new friends, slip and slide, fall over, learn to snowplow, fancy your ski instructor, but not necessarily in that order.
From the start, you'll be grateful you did all Eddie's exercises. Your only regret is that you didn't do more. Even walking in skis uses parts of your body and brain you didn't know you had. It soon becomes second nature to glide in your skis and to do it properly. But to start with, your knees won't bend enough, your skis won't stay parallel, your arms swing back when they should swing forwards. And you feel a complete prat. But if you listen to what your ski instructor says, and if you put right all those personal faults that only you could invent, then suddenly it starts to come together.
The thing that worries most skiers is the fear of falling and hurting themselves. So I'm going to try and demonstrate to you the safest and easiest way to fall over. So, once you know you're going to fall, try and get your skis together, your knees together, and try and fall backwards and to the side. It's much easier to fall on your bum or on the side of your body than anywhere else. And the most important thing is to keep your hands and your elbows out of the way. It's much easier to break your wrist or your arm than it is to break your bum. So, I'm going to try and show you how to fall. I hope nobody's watching because I hate falling too. Right, we're skiing down and something happens and you're going to fall. You fall backwards and to the side. Like so. Right, now to get up. What you've got to do is get ready, sit up, make sure your skis are facing across the slope. Otherwise, when you try and get up, your skis will run away with you. So, take your poles, like so. Put one hand on top of your grip, the other hand at the bottom. Now stick your poles in close to your body, and then with one heave, just push up. Push yourself down, and you're ready to start again. So, now you shouldn't be worried about falling over or getting up. Now we can get down to the nitty-gritty, skiing. So our first manoeuvre is called a straight shoes. But before we can shoes, we've got to walk up the hill. Now, as you can see, I'm standing on a slight slope, but I'm not moving anywhere. That's because my skis are on an edge, like so. So you've got to keep those skis on their edges. Now, to move up, you move your uphill ski first, followed by your downhill ski, in short little steps, keeping them nice and parallel, like so. Don't take too big a step, otherwise it gets too difficult and too strenuous. So, moving nice and easy. Now, if you move up with your tips first, you'll start sliding backwards, okay? Now, if you're walking up with your tails first, you'll go forwards. So try and keep your skis facing right across the slope. Okay. Now then, once we've reached as far as we dare go, we're ready to shoes. So, take your poles down like so. Now your pole should be a long extension of your arm, so it should be a nice straight line with both poles. So, with your uphill ski first, start moving your skis around till they're parallel and they're facing down the hill. And now we're ready to shoot. So, we let go. Right, the most important thing to do when skiing is to stay relaxed, isn't it? Now it's understandable when you first put on a pair of skis, you get very, very tense. Then people ski in all funny, weird and wonderful shapes. They ski with their arms straight, or their back and their legs straight, or their bums sticking out in the air. Now we've got a few exercises here to show you now that will not only help you to relax, that'll help you to gain confidence and move on to the next set of manoeuvres. Okay? Lifting the skis, jumping, bending down to touch your boot, and doing limbo.
All these exercises really do help you adopt a relaxed, balanced stance for shooting. Once you've got it together and everything feels comfortable, it's time to move on. Your first ski control technique is the snowplow. Use it like this to put the brakes on. Now you know why we did all those leg stretches in the workout.
Do it standing still first. This is the snowplow position. As you can see, my legs are wide open, my skis are set in a V, but they're also set on their inside edges. That's very, very important. Okay, your knees should be pushing forwards on the front of your boots. That helps to lock that snowplow into position that little bit easier. Your back should be nice and rounded, and your arms forward and out slightly. Okay, that's the basic position. You should try and keep that at all times. Try not to do silly things like bringing your knees in and your elbows out or sitting back. Okay, try and stay in this position, let your skis glide, and let your skis do all the work. Okay, let's do it on the move. Okay, this is our basic snowplow position. As you can see, my skis are set on their inside edges. It is a braking manoeuvre, a snowplow. Now, if you feel you're going too fast, you simply sink down and push your skis out. If you want to go a bit faster, you just simply reduce the size of your V. So, sink down, push out to slow down, let your skis come up together in a smaller V to go faster. And it's as easy as that. Like everything else, it's a simple case of practice, practice, and practice. That's why the fitter you are to start with, the more progress you'll make. And you don't want your body to give up before you do. Especially on a glorious day like today. Okay, the good thing about a snowplow, it's not only a braking manoeuvre, it's our first turning manoeuvre. Now, to do a snowplow turn, it's very simple. All we do is keep our basic snowplow stance, okay, with our skis in a V on their edges, knees pushing on the front of the boots, back rounded, arms out. Now you simply press on your left ski to turn right, and on your right ski to turn left. Now it's worth remembering when you're skiing down, okay, to turn the ski, we keep the V. To turn the ski, we keep the V. Okay, so off we go. Press on our left and we turn, but we'll only turn if we keep this snowplow position. Okay, come up and then press on our new ski. Our right ski to turn left. Okay, left ski to turn right. To turn the ski, we keep the V. Okay, and we're going down. Whee! Whee! Right, you can glide, you can turn, and more importantly, you can stop. Congratulations, you can ski. Now, you're probably itching to get higher, and you probably think your ski school is holding you back. Well, it's time to get on those higher slopes for some private lessons with a good-looking ski instructor like me. If you can afford me, that is.
Getting to the higher slopes is fun in itself. You know all about the pommer from the dry ski slope, but the bigger lifts that take you to the top offer tremendous views and give you a chance to relax between runs. The chairlift is the only one that requires some skiing competence, as the bubbles on cable cars are often used by walkers and climbers as well. Whichever one you use, always make sure you follow the ski lift instructions. Once you've got your ski pass, you'll have access to a number of lifts. Some give you a huge range, and you can begin to ski with style.
Another useful technique you can learn is the traverse. Now, if you're skiing down and you come across a slope that is too steep for you to snowplow down, you can use this traversing technique to help you get down the hill. Now, what you do, you have your skis parallel, no more than about shoulder width apart. Most of your weight should be placed down on your lower ski, which in my case is my left-hand ski, because I'm going to go across the slope like so. Okay, rolling your knees into the hill, just as if you were sidestepping up the hill, but this time with your tails, with your tips of your skis facing down the slope a little bit more than your tails, pushing off, and we traverse in a nice straight line across the slope. Use the full width of the slope from one side of the slope to the other. Whee. Okay, when you reach the end of the slope, place your poles behind you like so, lift your lower ski round and bring the other one round. Okay, and then traverse across again, but this time I'm placing all my weight on the lower ski again, which is my right ski, because I'm going across this way. Whee, in a straight line, rolling my knees into the hill. Okay, and that's the traverse. Right, now there's a forward side slip, which is exactly the same as a traverse. Your skis are parallel, but this time, instead of rolling your knees into the slope, we roll them away from the slope. So, as you push off, you're going across, roll the knees away from the slope and slip down, but moving forward as well. Slip down. Okay, I'll just show you it this way as well. Looking up, make sure there's nobody coming down. Traversing across, all my weight down on the lower ski, but roll my knees across and I'm slipping down. So, that's the traverse and the forward side slip. Now then, we'll move on to our next stage, which in this case is a swing to the hill or a turn to the hill. Now what I'm going to do is come down the foreline in a small snowplow. Now the foreline is an imaginary line that goes straight down the slope. If I had a football and I let that football go, it would take the shortest and quickest way down, and that is the foreline. Okay, so as I'm coming down, I'm going to do a swing to the hill to the right. So in my little snowplow, I'm going to place most of my weight on my left-hand ski and start to do my turn to the right. At the same time, I'm going to lift my right-hand ski and slide it till the skis are parallel, but still maintaining the weight on my left-hand ski and continuing the curve around. Now, it's a lot easier to show you than to tell you about it. So, in a small snowplow, I'm going to come down the slope, pushing on the front of your boots, and then start to turn and slide together and swing all the way around. Now that's called a swing to the hill. Now if you want to do it to the left, all we do is instead of pressing all your weight on your left-hand ski, we press it on our right-hand ski and then slide our left-hand ski together. And that's called a swing to the hill. Right, now for some of you, basic swings is probably about as far as you'll go on your very first winter holiday. But if you're very confident, you might get as far as basic parallels. Now there's very little difference between a basic swing and a basic parallel. Did you know those big snowplows where you just reduce the size of those snowplows until you're not doing any snowplows at all, and you're just keeping your skis nice and parallel and skiing all the way down, and you'll be a real skier. Whoa!
While you're watching me enjoying myself, here's a few do's and don'ts. Most serious on-piste skiing accidents occur through collisions. You can build up a tremendous speed on skis, even on the easy slopes, and if you collide with another skier, well, you've read the papers and heard the stories. The main safety tip is, if you're the uphill skier, it's your responsibility to look out for the downhill skier. It's the skier above who might hit the skier below, never the other way round. Safe skiing is a bit like road sense. You have to assume that everyone else on the slope is a complete idiot. A piste only needs one maniac to ruin everyone's holiday. When you're skiing, you have to concentrate very hard, not just on what you're doing, but on what everyone below you is doing as well. Keep your eyes open and your wits about you. It's easy to ski fast, it's staying in control that matters, and try to ski in numbers. 3 is ideal, then you can look out for each other. Be patient if you have to queue. At busy times like Christmas or Easter and at weekends there may be more local skiers on the slopes. They do have a right to be there after all. Wear plenty of warm clothing, don't forget your anti-glare goggles and don't overdo it. A knackered skier is a danger to himself and everyone else. Save a little energy for the next day and for the après-ski disco.
After a hard day's skiing, there's nothing quite like a hard night's partying. Cheers! But it's not everybody's cup of tea. For some, a nice relaxing soak in the jacuzzi, or perhaps a good steam in the sauna is just what the body ordered.
And for others, the perfect end to a good day's skiing is a good night's beauty sleep. Though after 2 or 3 days on the piste, it seems to take you over.
If you enjoy skiing as much as I do, then you'll be back time and time again. After all, everybody finds their own level. And the great thing is, there's always somebody worse than you on the ski slope. The main thing to remember is, the better prepared you are and the fitter you are to start with, the more fun you'll have. Enjoy the workout. It really is very useful. Oh, and when you get here, don't eat yellow snow. See you skiing. Hello and welcome to Courchevel, high into flying jumps for the fifth. Not only are we going to be looking at equipment and clothing, we'll also take you through a few tips on the artificial ski slope. I said that as if I was drunk. We're going to take you through a few tips on the artificial ski slope and take you through a basic skiing I'm almost there. We're taking you through a basic fitness program that will help you to get the most. And we're going to take you to a dry ski slope for a... Oh, no, that doesn't sound right. What's wrong? To Piste, but that's not all. How to plan your holiday from Courchevel to Piste. But that's not all. In addition, we're going to be looking at... Did I say that right? In this program, we're going to show you how to plan your holiday from Courchevel to... And we'll also take you through a few